Want to speak real Romanian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at RomanianPod101.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to ask and answer the question, how do you say this? After watching this video, you'll be able to ask someone how a word is pronounced. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your How to Say Something PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Cum se spune la aceasta?
Se spune parcare.
Once more with the English translation.
Cum se spune la aceasta?
How do you say this?
Se spune parcare.
It's parking lot. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, how do you say this? That's,
Cum se spune la aceasta?
listen to it again.
Cum se spune la aceasta? Cum se spune la aceasta?
Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
Se spune
word. This Romanian sentence literally translates into, it is said word, but it means it's word in English. For example, it's parking lot.
se spune parcare. Se spune parcare.
Here are a few useful words you can use with the same pattern. Parking lot,
Parcare. Parcare.
giraffe,
Girafă. Girafă.
travel,
Călătorie. Călătorie.
invasion,
Invazie. Invazie.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Cum se spune la aceasta?
Se spune girafă.
Cum se spune la aceasta?
Se spune călătorie.
Cum se spune la aceasta?
Se spune invazie.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, how do you say this?
Cum se spune la aceasta?
Imagine it's the word giraffe. Do you remember how to say giraffe?
Girafă. Girafă.
Say, it's giraffe.
Se spune girafă.
Now answer the question saying, it's giraffe.
Cum se spune la aceasta?
Se spune girafă.
Now imagine the word is travel. Do you remember how to say travel?
Călătorie. Călătorie.
Say, it's travel.
Se spune călătorie.
Now, answer the question saying it's travel.
Cum se spune la aceasta?
Se spune călătorie.
Now imagine the word is invasion. Do you remember how to say invasion?
Invazie. Invazie.
Say, it's invasion.
Se spune invazie.
Now answer the question saying, it's invasion.
Cum se spune la aceasta?
Se spune invazie.
Most people who learn a foreign language learn it so that they can one day have real-life conversations with native speakers. When you start out learning and crack open your first textbook or listen to your first podcast, having a real conversation can feel like a fantasy. When everything about a language feels new, it can be overwhelming. But this couldn't be further from the truth. While it does take a significant amount of time and effort to become fluent, having a conversation might not be as far off as you think. In this video, we'll look at 3 ways you can boost your conversational skills and start talking to native speakers. Number 1, find native speakers and practice with them. It's unlikely you live near a big group of native speakers to practice with. If you happen to be in a major or international city, your chances may be better. Check and see if your city has a general language exchange. Chances are there could be a native speaker there who is also trying to learn another language. Practicing in person with a native speaker is probably the most interesting option for honing your speaking skills. But if you can't find anyone where you live, the next best option is to look online. Luckily for language learners, the past 10 years or so have seen an explosion in online language exchange sites. On these websites, you can search for someone who is a native speaker of your target language and is also learning your native language. The idea behind a language exchange is that you communicate with them via video or text chat, and half of the time, they help you practice your target language, and for the other half, you help them practice theirs. Practicing via an online language exchange is a highly effective way to practice your conversational skills. Number 2, work on pronunciation. Pronunciation is often an overlooked skill when it comes to learning a foreign language. Most people think of a good foreign accent as a luxury rather than a necessity. But what most people don't talk about is how having a good accent boosts your listening and comprehension skills. If you can hear a sound from a foreign language and know how to make it yourself, then you're more likely to understand native speakers when they talk at normal speed, and you're also more likely to remember any new words or phrases you come across. Having a good accent means that the language no longer sounds foreign. Instead, it sounds familiar, maybe even natural. So how do you go about perfecting your accent? The best way is to break down the language into its individual sounds. Make note of any sounds that are the same or similar to your native language and of those that are different. Of the sounds that are different, spend your time practicing the ones that you find the hardest to say correctly. After you're comfortable with the individual sounds, you can start linking together words and phrases. This is where accent practice starts to get really fun and interesting. Get your hands on some native speaker audio from a TV show, song, or podcast. Play the audio back and listen closely a few times. Take note of how words blend together in speech. Then, do your best to imitate what you hear, trying to match the speaker's emphasis and intonation. Our language learning program's playback feature is perfect for this. Record yourself and compare it to the original recording. Rinse and repeat until you're comfortable with the audio selection, and then move on to something more difficult. This is how you can break through the accent barrier and really start to make the language your own. Number 3, learn phrases, not just individual words. Learning grammar and individual words is great, but it's not the only approach you should take if you want to speak fluently. In addition to your regular grammar and vocabulary, try learning whole phrases, even if you aren't totally sure how they work grammatically. Learn phrases that are specific to your needs. It's a good idea to learn phrases that are grouped around a certain setting or subject, such as simple greetings or introductions, questions for getting to know someone, or traveling comfortably. You can even learn filler phrases, which you can use so that you have something to say when, well, you don't know what to say. Learning phrases like this will help you become conversational faster. You may not understand what you're saying literally, but as long as you know the general meaning behind the phrase and know when to use it, you'll be able to talk like a native. Eventually, your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary should catch up with the phrases you know. Learning a new language should feel like an adventure. There will be plateaus and periods in your learning where it feels like you're hitting a wall, but being able to speak with native speakers and have real conversations will help you combat language fatigue. After all, talking to someone face-to-face in a foreign language is one of the main reasons we start learning in the first place. And for even more ways to gain conversation skills, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what's your favorite number? After watching this video, you'll be able to say many numbers and ask someone their favorite number. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Numbers PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 7.
Once more with the English translation.
Care este numărul tău favorit?
What's your favorite number?
Este numărul 7.
It's 7. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what's your favorite number? That's,
Care este numărul tău favorit?
listen to it again.
Care este numărul tău favorit? Care este numărul tău favorit?
Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
Este numărul
number. This Romanian sentence literally translates into it's number, number, but it means it's number. For example, it's 7.
Este numărul 7. Este numărul 7.
Here are a few more numbers you can use with the same pattern. 7,
7. 7.
2,
2. 2.
4,
4. 4.
9,
9. 9.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 2. Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 4. Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 9.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what's your favorite number?
Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 2. Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 9. 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 Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 9.
Imagine it's 2. Do you remember how to say 2?
2. 2.
Say, it's 2.
Este numărul 2.
Now answer the question saying, it's 2.
Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 2.
Now imagine it's 4. Do you remember how to say 4?
4. 4.
Say, it's 4.
Este numărul 4.
Now, answer the question by saying, it's 4.
Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 4.
Now, imagine it's 9. Do you remember how to say 9?
9. 9.
Say, it's 9.
Este numărul 9.
Now, answer the question saying, it's 9.
Care este numărul tău favorit? Este numărul 9.
You've studied for a while and are ready to talk to people and practice what you've learned. But where do you start? Starting a conversation in a new language can seem a bit intimidating. How do you just jump into it? In this video, we'll look at 5 ways to start conversations. Number 1. Introduce yourself in your target language. This is usually one of the first things you learn when you start studying a new language. And sometimes, starting a conversation, or continuing one, is as simple as introducing yourself. Number 2. Talking about the weather. This is a universal talking point. People talk about the weather all over the world. And just saying, "It's really nice today," is enough to start a conversation. A great way to practice your weather conversation skills is to check out our Can-Do lesson pathway. This series of lessons teaches you how to talk about the weather in your target language. Number 3. Give compliments. Compliments are a great way to start a conversation. You can compliment something about your conversation partner's city, country, or something specific to them personally. "Hey, your bag is super cute," or "That ice cream looks delicious." These kinds of compliments can lead to further conversation about what you complimented. In this case, it could be fashion or a local restaurant. This is a great way to make quick connections with people. Number 4. Ask for help. For example, you can ask for directions, ask about prices, or request recommendations for restaurants or shopping spots, and let the conversation go from there. People are usually happy to lend a helping hand to tourists who are visiting their city. Number 5. Learn phrases for transactions. This can include getting a room at a hotel or telling a taxi driver where to go. When you're traveling overseas, you'll need to talk to other people in your target language. And while this might be a bit scary at first, you'll find that the people you meet are just happy that you're trying to communicate with them. So get started talking in your target language now. For even more tips on how to start conversations, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, "What kind of movies do you like?" After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about movies and ask other people about their favorite kinds of movies. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Movies and TV PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Ce fel de filme îți plac?
Îmi plac filmele de groază.
Once more with the English translation.
Ce fel de filme îți plac?
What kind of movies do you like?
Îmi plac filmele de groază.
I like horror movies. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what kind of movies do you like? That's,
Ce fel de filme îți plac?
listen to it again.
Ce fel de filme îți plac? Ce fel de filme îți plac?
Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
Îmi plac filmele de
type of movie. This Romanian sentence literally translates as I like movies of type of movie, but it means I like type of movie movies. For example, I like horror movies.
Îmi plac filmele de groază. Îmi plac filmele de groază.
Here are a few more kinds of movies you can use with the same pattern to talk about movies. Horror,
Groază. Groază.
comedy,
Comedie. Comedie.
fantasy,
Fantezie. Fantezie.
romance,
Dragoste. Dragoste.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Ce fel de filme îți plac? Îmi plac filmele de comedie. Ce fel de filme îți plac? Îmi plac filmele de fantezie. Ce fel de filme îți plac?
Îmi plac filmele de dragoste.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what kind of movies do you like?
Ce fel de filme îți plac?
Imagine you like comedies. Do you remember how to say comedy?
Comedie. Comedie.
Say, I like comedies.
Îmi plac filmele de comedie.
Now answer the question saying that you like comedies.
Ce fel de filme îți plac? Îmi plac filmele de comedie.
Now imagine that you like fantasy movies. Do you remember how to say fantasy?
Fantezie. Fantezie.
Say, I like fantasy movies.
Îmi plac filmele de fantezie.
Now, answer the question saying you like fantasy movies.
Ce fel de filme îți plac? Îmi plac filmele de fantezie.
Now imagine you like romantic movies. Do you remember how to say romantic?
Dragoste. Dragoste.
Say, I like romantic movies.
Îmi plac filmele de dragoste.
Now answer the question saying you like romantic movies.
Ce fel de filme îți plac?
Îmi plac filmele de dragoste.
Want to speak your target language with confidence and impress native speakers? When learning to speak a new language, you have lots of things to think about, including grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Because you're thinking of all of these things and trying to speak, it can be difficult to communicate with confidence, especially in the beginning. This is why it's helpful to make confidence-building exercises part of your language learning process. In this video, you'll learn 7 ways to boost your confidence. 1. Read out loud. This might seem pretty basic, but it's a great way to practice speaking. Reading aloud lets you practice speaking without having to think about grammar or things to talk about. Reading out loud lets you focus on your pronunciation and the rhythm of the language. It can help you learn to speak more smoothly and quickly, without even thinking about it. If you're using our lessons, read the dialogue out loud as you listen. You can read along with the dialogue tool, the lesson notes, or the transcript. 2. Read like a child. This might sound strange, but think about children learning to read. They go slow and sound everything out. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 tries before they read a new word smoothly, and a few more tries before they can read it at a natural pace. This example applies to language learning too. If you find a complex sentence in something you're reading, read it slowly at first, then speed up. With practice, you'll be able to say it easily. It might feel a bit silly to speak very slowly, but this kind of practice can help you identify tough sounds you might miss or say incorrectly when reading quickly. 3. Use the dialogue breakdown tool. If you're using our site, this is a great tool to take advantage of. It breaks down lesson conversations into individual lines. You can listen to the audio for each line, learn what each line means, and can reread and review as much as you want. 4. Use the voice recorder to record and compare yourself with native speakers. Just click on the microphone icon next to each line in the dialogue section. You can use this tool to perfect your pronunciation if you like, but this is also something you can use to work on speaking with confidence at native level speed. You'll find this tool in the dialogue section of all of our lessons. 5. Repeat and review old lesson conversations. Reviewing what you've studied in the past is the best way to make sure you maintain what you've learned. Go back to older lessons, download the lesson dialogue tracks, and re-listen to the conversations again and again. Or you can reread the dialogue lines from previous lessons until you've mastered them all. 6. Shadow conversations. Repeat what you hear out loud. This tactic is important, but it can be tricky when you're doing a brand new lesson. If you're reviewing dialogues from lessons you've done though, it's super easy to do. Just listen to the dialogue and repeat what you hear. Shadowing means mimicking the speaker as soon as they speak, following their intonation and rhythms as closely as possible. 7. Send recordings to your Premium Plus teacher. If you want to speak with confidence, there's no better confidence boost than feedback from a native speaker, and you get just that with a Premium Plus teacher. You can record yourself reciting a lesson dialogue or any dialogue of your own, and your teacher will give you specific tips on how to improve. From the tips your teacher gives you, choose at least one and practice, practice, practice. Being able to react quickly and with confidence in a conversation is typically not something you can do on your first try, but if you continue practicing, you'll gradually find yourself speaking with ease. And for even more ways to build your speaking confidence, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one, and the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. Today, we'll learn conversational phrases about occupations. After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about your job and ask what somebody does for a living. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your occupation PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
listen to the dialogue.
Cu ce te ocupi?
Sunt un artist.
Listen to it again, now with the English translation.
Cu ce te ocupi?
What do you do?
Sunt un artist.
I'm an artist. First of all, you need to learn how to say, what do you do? That's.
Cu ce te ocupi?
Listen to it again.
Cu ce te ocupi? Cu ce te ocupi?
This Romanian sentence literally translates into, what do you do for work? But it means, what do you do in English? Now, how do you answer this question? This is the pattern you'll need.
Sunt.
Your occupation. I'm an, your occupation. For example, I'm an artist.
Sunt un artist. Sunt un artist.
Here are a few more professions you can use with the same pattern. Police officer,
Polițist. Polițist.
Polițistă. Polițistă.
teacher,
Profesor. Profesor.
Profesoară. Profesoară.
doctor,
Doctor. Doctor.
Doctoriță. Doctoriță.
engineer,
Inginer. Inginer.
Ingineră. Ingineră.
Now, listen to some examples.
Cu ce te ocupi?
Sunt profesor.
Cu ce te ocupi?
Sunt doctor.
Cu ce te ocupi?
Sunt inginer.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what do you do?
Cu ce te ocupi?
Imagine you're a doctor. Do you remember how to say, doctor?
Doctor. Doctor.
Say, I'm a doctor.
Sunt doctor.
Now answer the question saying that you are a doctor.
Cu ce te ocupi?
Sunt doctor.
Now, imagine you're a teacher. Do you remember how to say teacher?
Profesor. Profesor.
Say, I'm a teacher.
Sunt profesor.
Now, answer the question saying that you are a teacher.
Cu ce te ocupi?
Sunt profesor.
Now, imagine you're an engineer. Do you remember how to say engineer?
Inginer. Inginer.
Say, I'm an engineer.
Sunt inginer.
Now, answer the question saying that you are an engineer.
Cu ce te ocupi?
Sunt inginer.
Want to speak and understand more of your target language? If so, of course, you'll need to know more words and phrases than you do now. In this video, we'll cover 5 ways to master new words and phrases fast. Number 1, use our free vocabulary list. This is a free library of vocabulary and phrase lessons for all kinds of situations. You can learn words and phrases for current events, holidays like Halloween and Thanksgiving, and useful topics like the top 10 ways to say hello, conversational phrases, and more. You'll learn phrases that you won't find in textbooks. If you want to learn extra fast, use the slideshow tool. Just tap or click on View Slideshow, then sit back and review the words and phrases. Find the vocabulary lists in the vocabulary drop-down menu on the site. These vocabulary lists are free for all users. Number 2, take the audio and video lessons. One of the best ways to learn new words is by hearing and using them in conversations. This is because it gives you the opportunity to understand how the words are actually used. In every lesson dialogue, you'll likely come across some words you don't know. But don't worry, because our teachers translate everything. When you hear the conversation again at the end of the lesson, you'll be familiar with the words you didn't know at first. Number 3, learn with our 2,000 most common words list. A quick question. How many words do you think you need for conversational fluency? 3,000? 5,000? It's actually not as many as you think. Language experts say you need about 1,500 words to reach conversational fluency. With our 2,000 most common words list, you'll get access to key vocabulary words you need to boost your conversation skills. The words are broken down into simple categories, such as adjectives, nouns, verbs, food, drinks, numbers, months, and so on. So you can go category by category and focus on what you're most interested in first. With this tip, we're not talking about paper flashcards. We're talking about the smart flashcards that you can find in our premium study tools. This is an automatic system individualized for each member based on their study needs. First, you'll use the cards to check your knowledge. Then, according to your answers, the cards will be sorted according to which words you need more practice with. Words that you struggle with will be shown to you more and more. You'll see words that you know well less often. This system helps you study more efficiently. It displays the words you need to work on and knows when you should refresh your knowledge. This helps make sure you don't forget vocabulary. In every study session, these cards will help you refresh your memory on the words you learned last time and introduce new words. Number 5, use the words. After you learn a new word, using it right away is crucial to remembering it. So, when you're done with a lesson or a vocab list, here's something you can do. Leave a comment. Make up a sample sentence and post it in the comment section. Write it down in a notebook, or shadow the word with a lessons dialogue. Our language learning program is full of tools that can help you speak more. Just pick one and get started. If you want to unlock all of these study tools, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey everyone, Alicia here. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, how's your mother? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about well-being and ask how someone is doing. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Conversation About Family Well-Being PDF cheat sheet for free. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Cum se simte mama ta? Este bine.
Once more with the English translation.
Cum se simte mama ta?
How's your mother?
Este bine.
She's fine. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, how's your mother? That's
Cum se simte mama ta?
Listen to it again.
Cum se simte mama ta? Cum se simte mama ta?
This Romanian sentence literally means, how is feeling your mother? But it translates as, how is your mother in English? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
Este
state of well-being. But it translates as, she is state of well-being in English. For example, she's fine.
este bine. Este bine.
Here are a few expressions related to well-being that you can use with this pattern. Great,
Excelent. Excelent.
fine,
Bine. Bine.
so-so,
Așa și așa. Așa și așa.
sad,
Trist. Trist. Tristă. Tristă.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Cum se simte mama ta? Este excelent. Cum se simte mama ta? Este așa și așa. Cum se simte mama ta? Este tristă.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, how's your mother?
Cum se simte mama ta?
Imagine she's great. Do you remember how to say, great?
Excelent. Excelent.
Say, she's great.
Este excelent.
Now, answer the question saying she's great.
Cum se simte mama ta? Este excelent.
Now imagine she's so-so. Do you remember how to say so-so?
Așa și așa. Așa și așa.
Say, she's so-so.
Este așa și așa.
Now, answer the question saying she's so-so.
Cum se simte mama ta? Este așa și așa.
Now imagine she's sad. Do you remember how to say sad?
Trist. Trist.
Say, she's sad.
Este tristă.
Now, answer the question saying she's sad.
Cum se simte mama ta? Este tristă.
When learning a new language, everyone should have an ultimate goal to work towards. Whether you want to be able to connect with a relative, easily order food while traveling, or go somewhere new, having an end goal for your learning can be very motivating. A popular but challenging goal is being able to speak like a native speaker. It's difficult to measure exactly when you reach this goal, and it's not something you can pick up using textbooks alone. So how do you work on making your speech more natural? That's what we're going to look at today. Here are 3 tips to help you practice talking like a native speaker. Number 1, focus on vocabulary. If your goal is to speak like a native, you might be really focused on speaking quickly or using as many complex grammar patterns as possible. But in our native languages, we're not always trying to speak as fast as possible, and we use complex grammar patterns when necessary, not to show off. Vocabulary, however, is extremely important to expressing ourselves naturally. Your choice of words can reveal a lot about you and your understanding of the language. Most learners have had the experience of using a phrasebook or a dictionary to find a word they want to use, trying the word in conversation, and getting a look of confusion from the native speaker. In some cases, although your word choice may be grammatically correct, the word may be inappropriate for the situation or totally unnatural. This is especially important in business and other formal situations, where the right level of formality and professionalism is key. Being able to understand nuances in vocabulary words can also help you understand relationships between people just by listening to the conversation. Try to listen to many different types of conversations. Listen to how people talk to their friends, their superiors, and in customer service situations. This will give you a better idea of how to talk to others naturally. In some languages, you can omit words from sentences or use more direct communication styles. It's important to be aware of these things so you can apply them yourself. Colloquialisms and slang are also commonly used in most languages. As this sort of vocabulary is always evolving, it can be difficult to keep up with the latest words. Talk with native speakers and consume media in your target language to make sure you pick up these kinds of expressions. Media is a great resource for your learning. Ultimately, knowing the appropriate vocabulary to use for each situation will really help you sound more knowledgeable. Number 2, perfect your accent. With every language, there are unique pronunciation and intonation challenges. Some languages are tonal languages, and a change in pitch can completely change the meaning of a word. Then there's the fact that most countries have multiple dialects, and so people from one area of the country may sound different from those in another. So what is the best way to listen to a wide range of accents and different pronunciations? Video and audio resources are a great way to do this. YouTube is a perfect place to start because people from all kinds of different backgrounds upload videos to the platform. You can watch educational videos, daily life vlogs, cooking shows, a travel series, whatever interests you. Pay attention to the different ways people speak. Everyone is unique. And then practice speaking like them. This kind of practice can help you sound more natural. One note, please be aware of the type of resources you're using. For example, if you find a video where a speaker uses a rare dialect, it might not be a good idea to use that for your pronunciation practice, unless you have a special reason for studying a specific accent. As a general rule, it's best to try to search for practice resources that use a standard form of the language you're studying. Number 3, copy what you hear. Do you remember how you learned to speak as a child? We rarely learned new words just listening to them, or reading after we learned how. When we were little kids, we imitated the sounds we heard by repeating the sounds out loud. While you're talking to a friend, watching videos, or listening to audio in your target language, you can do this to try and replicate the way they speak. Doing this will help you work on mastering the flow of the language, your accent, intonation, and pronunciation. Of course, you might also pick up some new vocabulary this way. Make sure to repeat new words often. It's a great way to make sure you remember them. Try doing this using a number of different mediums and sources. That way, you'll be exposed to the diversity that the language offers and master the fundamentals of pronunciation. For example, you can watch and imitate several different YouTube videos and audio CDs, but try a few different sources, like different creators or different audio types, to make sure you experience a wide range of communication in your target language. If you're using our language learning program, you can even get your own teacher with Premium Plus. Your teacher can answer questions, give assignments, and even listen to your recordings and give you advice on pronunciation. Completing these kinds of lessons with a native teacher can really boost your confidence in your speaking skills. Becoming able to speak like a native is a popular goal for many people learning a new language. It feels great to be able to communicate smoothly, especially when the people you're talking to expect basic level sentences or broken communication. Try using the tips we've shared in this video to work on improving your speaking skills. Of course, it'll take time and persistence, but the reward will be more natural communication. And for even more tips on speaking, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey everyone, Alicia here. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what's the matter? After watching this video, you'll be able to make complaints and ask someone else if they're having any issues. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making Complaints PDF cheat sheet for free. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Este totul în regulă?
Biroul este înăbușitor.
Once more with the English translation.
Este totul în regulă?
What's the matter?
Biroul este înăbușitor.
The office is hot. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what's the matter? That's,
Este totul în regulă?
listen to it again.
Este totul în regulă? Este totul în regulă?
This Romanian sentence literally translates into, is everything all right? But it means, what's the matter in English? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
Biroul este,
adjective. The office is adjective. For example, the office is hot.
biroul este înăbușitor. Biroul este înăbușitor.
Here are a few more examples you can use with the same pattern to make complaints. Hot,
Înăbușitor. Înăbușitor.
cold,
Friguros. Friguros.
dark,
Întunecos. Întunecos.
dirty,
Murdar. Murdar.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Este totul în regulă? Biroul este friguros. Este totul în regulă? Biroul este întunecos. Este totul în regulă? Biroul este murdar.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what's the matter?
Este totul în regulă?
Imagine the office is cold. Do you remember how to say cold?
Friguros. Friguros.
Say, the office is cold.
Biroul este friguros.
Now answer the question saying the office is cold.
Este totul în regulă? Biroul este friguros.
Now imagine the office is dark. Do you remember how to say dark?
Întunecos. Întunecos.
Say, the office is dark.
Biroul este întunecos.
Now answer the question saying the office is dark.
Este totul în regulă? Biroul este întunecos.
Now imagine the office is dirty. Do you remember how to say dirty?
Murdar. Murdar.
Say the office is dirty.
Biroul este murdar.
Now answer the question saying the office is dirty.
Este totul în regulă? Biroul este murdar.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what are you doing during the holiday? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about your holiday plans. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your National Holidays PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Ce o să faci de Paști?
Intenționez să merg la plajă.
Once more with the English translation.
Ce o să faci de Paști?
What are you doing for Easter?
Intenționez să merg la plajă.
I'm planning to go to the beach. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what are you doing for Easter? That's,
Ce o să faci de Paști?
listen to it again.
Ce o să faci de Paști? Ce o să faci de Paști?
This Romanian sentence literally translates as, what will you do for Easter? But it means, what are you doing for Easter? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is,
Intenționez să
plan. I'm planning to plan. For example, I'm planning to go to the beach.
intenționez să merg la plajă. Intenționez să merg la plajă.
Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk about your plans. Go to the beach.
Merg la plajă. Merg la plajă.
Travel.
Călătoresc. Călătoresc.
Stay home.
Stau acasă. Stau acasă.
Go to a movie.
Merg la un film. Merg la un film.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Ce o să faci de Paști?
Intenționez să călătoresc.
Ce o să faci de Paști?
Intenționez să stau acasă.
Ce o să faci de Paști?
Intenționez să merg la un film.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what are you doing for Easter?
Ce o să faci de Paști?
Imagine you're planning to travel. Do you remember how to say travel?
Călătoresc. Călătoresc.
Say, I'm planning to travel.
Intenționez să călătoresc.
Now, answer the question saying you're planning to travel.
Ce o să faci de Paști?
Intenționez să călătoresc.
Now, imagine you're planning to stay home. Do you remember how to say stay home?
Stau acasă. Stau acasă.
Say, I'm planning to stay home.
Intenționez să stau acasă.
Now, answer the question saying you're planning to stay home.
Ce o să faci de Paști?
Intenționez să stau acasă.
Now, imagine you're planning to go to a movie. Do you remember how to say go to a movie?
Merg la un film. Merg la un film.
Say, I'm planning to go to a movie.
Intenționez să merg la un film.
Now, answer the question saying you're planning to go to a movie.
Ce o să faci de Paști?
Intenționez să merg la un film.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to use when talking on the phone. After watching this video, you'll be able to ask for someone on the phone and to put someone on hold. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making a Phone Call PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
Alo, aș vrea să vorbesc cu persoana responsabilă.
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Once more with the English translation.
Alo, aș vrea să vorbesc cu persoana responsabilă.
Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Okay, just a moment. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say hello on the phone. That's
Alo? Alo?
Then you'll need to learn how to say, I'd like to speak with person. The pattern is
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu...
person. This Romanian sentence literally translates as, I would want to speak with person, but it means I'd like to speak with person. For example, hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
Alo? Aș vrea să vorbesc cu persoana responsabilă. Alo? Aș vrea să vorbesc cu persoana responsabilă.
Now, how do you answer this question?
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Okay, just a moment. Listen to it again.
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog. Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
This Romanian sentence literally translates as, sure, please wait for 1 minute. But it means, okay, just a moment. Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk on the phone. The person in charge.
Persoana responsabilă. Persoana responsabilă.
A sales representative.
Un reprezentant de vânzări. Un reprezentant de vânzări.
The manager.
Managerul. Managerul.
Customer service.
Serviciul de relații cu clienții. Serviciul de relații cu clienții.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu un reprezentant de vânzări.
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu managerul.
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu serviciul de relații cu clienții.
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, I'd like to speak with person?
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu.
Person. And how do you answer it?
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Imagine you want to talk to a sales representative. Do you remember how to say, a sales representative?
Un reprezentant de vânzări. Un reprezentant de vânzări.
Say, I'd like to speak with a sales representative.
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu un reprezentant de vânzări.
Now say you want to talk to a sales representative and answer it.
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu un reprezentant de vânzări.
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Now, imagine you want to talk to the manager. Do you remember how to say, the manager?
Managerul. Managerul.
Say, I'd like to speak with the manager.
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu managerul.
Now say you want to talk to the manager and answer it.
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu managerul.
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Now imagine you want to talk to customer service. Do you remember how to say customer service?
Serviciul de relații cu clienții. Serviciul de relații cu clienții.
Say, I'd like to speak with customer service.
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu serviciul de relații cu clienții.
Now say you want to talk to customer service and answer it.
Aș vrea să vorbesc cu serviciul de relații cu clienții.
Desigur, așteptați un minut, vă rog.
Do you know how to say I love you in Romanian? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say it. Let's start with how to express your feelings to your loved one.
Te iubesc. Te iubesc. Te iubesc.
Or if you want to explain those butterflies in your stomach, you can say,
Am făcut o pasiune pentru tine. Am făcut o pasiune pentru tine. Am făcut o pasiune pentru tine.
And when you feel that I love you is not enough, you can say,
Cuvintele nu pot descrie dragostea mea pentru tine. Cuvintele nu pot descrie dragostea mea pentru tine. Cuvintele nu pot descrie dragostea mea pentru tine.
You just learned 3 different ways to say, I love you in Romanian.
Do you know how to say thank you in Romanian? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say it. Let's start with the easiest one.
Mulțumesc. Mulțumesc.
Another way to say thank you is
Mulțumesc foarte mult. Mulțumesc foarte mult.
Finally, here's a third way to express your gratitude.
Mulțumesc frumos. Mulțumesc frumos.
Okay, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned.
Mulțumesc. Mulțumesc. Mulțumesc foarte mult. Mulțumesc foarte mult. Mulțumesc frumos. Mulțumesc frumos.
Well done! You just learned 3 different ways to say thank you in Romanian.
Bună, mă numesc Masanobu.
Bună, eu sunt Andreea. Bine ai venit în România!
Mulțumesc. Sunt încântat să te cunosc în sfârșit.
Și eu sunt încântată de cunoștință. Să mergem să vedem orașul.
Cu drag.
In this lesson, you're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you're in a situation where you need help in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. Here's the formal way to say it. Vorbiți engleza, vorbiți, engleza. Again, this means, do you speak English? The word vorbiți is a form of the verb a vorbi, which means to speak. A vorbi is known as an e-verb because it ends in e. Most e-verbs conjugate in a similar way. We will show you how to properly conjugate e-verbs like a vorbi in future series at romanianpod101.com. Now, let's make this sentence informal. This is done by adding ești to the end of a vorbi after you cut the last vowel e. When we do that, we get vorbești. Altogether, vorbește engleza, vorbești, engleza. This is the informal way to ask, do you speak English? The responses you receive could be one of these 3. Da, vorbesc engleza, meaning yes, I speak English. Da, vorbesc engleza. Da, vorbesc puțin, meaning yes, I speak a little. Da, vorbesc puțin. Nu vorbesc engleza, meaning no, I don't speak English. Nu vorbesc engleza. In all of this, vorbesc means I speak. In the last one, we have nu vorbesc, which is the negative form. It means I don't speak. Now it's time for a look at insights. If you want to ask about a different language, just change the word engleza. Here are some language names to get you started. Italiana for Italian, Rusa for Russian, franceza for French, germana for German. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to apologize or say excuse me in Romanian. The basic phrase for excuse me is mă scuzați. Mă scuzați. We can also use it when asking a question. Mă scuzați, unde este baia? Meaning, excuse me, where is the restroom? Mă scuzați. Unde este baia? Another way to say excuse me is pardon. Pardon. Just like mă scuzați, we can use pardon when asking a question or when apologizing. Both of these phrases can be used for either excuse me or I'm sorry. But if you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use a different phrase. That phrase is îmi pare rău. It means I'm sorry and can be used in both formal and informal situations. Îmi pare rău. Unlike the others, îmi pare rău only has the meaning of I'm sorry and not excuse me. Now it's time for a look at insights. Please remember that if we accidentally bump into someone on the street, we don't usually say I'm sorry, îmi pare rău. Instead, we say mă scuzați or pardon, excuse me. We're going to learn how to go shopping in Romania. The first thing you need to know how to say is how much is it? Cât costă aceasta? Cât costă aceasta? Imagine you see something you like and want to ask the shop clerk how much it costs. The first thing to say is mă scuzați or pardon. Do you remember what this means? Excuse me, then simply add cât costă aceasta, meaning how much is it? Mă scuzați, cât costă aceasta? Excuse me, how much is it? Mă scuzați, cât costă aceasta? Or, pardon, cât costă aceasta? Pardon, cât costă aceasta? If you want to be more specific when you're asking how much something is, you just need to add it at the end of the sentence. However, you need to change aceasta to acest if it is a masculine noun or to această if it is a feminine. Let's see some examples. Homemade sausage, cârnat de casă, is one of the Romanian traditional dishes. Sausage is a masculine noun, so if you want to buy one, you'll say, mă scuzați, cât costă acest cârnat de casă? This means, excuse me, how much is this homemade sausage? Mă scuzați, cât costă acest cârnat de casă? Now, if you want to buy a shirt or cămașă in Romanian, which is a feminine noun, you would say, mă scuzați, cât costă această cămașă? Excuse me, how much is this shirt? Mă scuzați, cât costă această cămașă? By the way, for more information on masculine and feminine nouns in Romanian, check out Lesson 3 of the All About series on RomanianPod101.com. At this point, the shop clerk might confirm by saying acest cârnat de casă, meaning this homemade sausage, această cămașă, meaning this shirt, or just acesta, meaning this. When telling you the price, they will say acest cârnat de casă, 39 de lei, meaning this homemade sausage, 39 lei, or această cămașă, 39 de lei, meaning this shirt, 39 lei. Now it's time for a look at insights. A faster way to ask about the price of something is cât e, which is a different way of asking how much. For example, if you're in a hurry for a coffee, you can ask the cashier, o cafea vă rog. Cât e? Meaning, a coffee please. How much? This is a shorter, more informal way to ask for the price.
10 things to do in the summer in Romania. Have you ever been to Romania? If not, it's time to go. A călători în străinătate. To travel abroad. Ai nevoie de un pașaport pentru a călători în străinătate. Ai nevoie de un pașaport pentru a călători în străinătate. You need a passport to travel abroad. If you're European, if your country's in the European Union, you don't necessarily need a passport to travel abroad. You just need some identification card. Easy, huh? A lucra un job cu jumătate de normă. A lucra un job cu jumătate de normă. To work a part-time job. A lucra un job cu jumătate de normă. To work a part-time job. Ea s-a hotărât să lucreze un job cu jumătate de normă pentru a face bani în plus pentru vacanța de vară. She decided to work a part-time job to make extra money for the summer vacation. I wanted to work at McDonald's to get some extra money, but my father wouldn't let me. So a lot of my friends used to when I was in high school. Yeah, the first thing, McDonald's. I'm like, okay. A participa la școala de vară. A participa la școala de vară. To attend summer school. A participa la școala de vară. To attend summer school. In order to graduate early, he decided to attend summer school. A învăța cum să gătească mâncare românească. To learn how to cook Romanian food. Săptămâna trecută m-am alăturat unui grup pentru a învăța cum să gătesc mâncare românească. Săptămâna trecută m-am alăturat unui grup pentru a învăța cum să gătesc mâncare românească. Last week, I joined a group to learn how to cook Romanian food. Have you ever tried Romanian food? You should try. I really like a dessert called papanaș. It's kind of like a donut. It has some cheese in it and jam on top with some sour cream. It's a really nice crust, but also sweet and sour at the same time. A delight. A face un grătar. To have a barbecue. Mi-am invitat noii mei prieteni la mine ca să facem un grătar. Mi-am invitat noii mei prieteni la mine ca să facem un grătar. I invited my new friends to my house to have a barbecue. I love barbecues. Who doesn't love barbecues? That's the thing to do in the summer, don't you think? A petrece toată noaptea. To party all night. Când eram în facultate, obișnuiam să petrec toată noaptea. Când eram în facultate, obișnuiam să petrec toată noaptea. When I was in college, I used to party all night. Are you partying all night? I didn't do that, so I'm like, A se bronza. To get a tan. Ea a stat la piscină toată ziua ca să se bronzeze. Ea a stat la piscină toată ziua ca să se bronzeze. She laid out by the pool all day to get a tan. The thing is, I have very white skin, so I usually get red and then I get a tan, so that's why, like, for most people it's easy to get a tan, but not for me. But I do like the sun, and I like laying out in the sun. And if I get a tan on top of that, it's great. A face o drumeție. To go hiking. Am găsit un loc minunat unde putem să facem o drumeție împreună cu părinții noștri. Am găsit un loc minunat unde putem să facem o drumeție împreună cu părinții noștri.
We found an incredible place where we can go hiking with our parents. There are many nice places where you can hike in Romania, the Carpathian Mountains. There's really beautiful scenery. The air is fresh. Lovely. I love hiking. A lot of Hungarian people people from all Europe come to Romania to do hiking in the Carpathian Mountains. But I know some Hungarian people come especially for that. So what did you do last weekend? Oh, I went to Romania for a hike. Nice! A se distra cu prietenii. To have fun with friends. El a mers la un bar de karaoke pentru a se distra cu prietenii. El a mers la un bar de karaoke pentru a se distra cu prietenii. He went to the karaoke bar to have fun with friends. 10 must-know autumn vocabulary. Here we go. Pullover, sweater. Our first word, pullover, sweater. Aceste pulovere sunt foarte elegante. These sweaters are very elegant. Aceste pulovere sunt foarte elegante. For English speakers, I believe pullover, sweater, is easy to remember because you just pull something over. You pull it over. So pullover, sweater. Ploios, rainy. Our next word is ploios. It means rainy. Ploios. Furtunile din timpul sezonului ploios pot cauza întârzieri. Storms during the rainy season can cause delays. Furtunile din timpul sezonului ploios pot cauza întârzieri. That happens quite often, doesn't it? Vântos, windy. Our next word, vântos, windy. În luna martie va fi vreme vântoasă, dar caldă. In March, the weather will be warm, but windy. În luna martie, vremea va fi vântoasă, dar caldă. Răcoros, cool. Our next word, răcoros, cool. Din cauza vremii răcoroase, condițiile de condus au fost dificile. Because of the cool weather, the driving conditions were difficult. Din cauza vremii răcoroase, condițiile de condus au fost dificile. Toamnă, autumn. Our next word is toamnă, autumn. My favorite season. Raportul final va fi gata la toamnă. The final report will be ready in the autumn. Raportul final va fi gata la toamnă. This is a very funny expression in Romanian. My family usually uses it when they want to say that something will never happen. So, when are you going to clean your room? In autumn. That's never going to happen or something like that. So, it's a funny expression. Rece, cold. So, in autumn, the weather gets cold. Therefore, our next word will be rece, cold. For example, puneți degetul în apă rece pentru 5 minute. Put your finger in cold water for 5 minutes. Puneți degetul în apă rece pentru 5 minute. Castană, chestnut. Castană, chestnut. Această prăjitură cu castane este delicioasă. This chestnut cake is delicious. Această prăjitură cu castane este delicioasă. So we usually use more than one chestnut in a cake. That's why we say the plural form, prăjitură cu castane. Singular form, castană. Plural form, castane. Do you like chestnut cake? Cămașă cu mânecă lungă. Long-sleeved shirt. Our next word, cămașă cu mânecă lungă. Long-sleeved shirt. Este prea cald ca să porți o cămașă cu mânecă lungă. It's too hot to wear a long-sleeved shirt. Este prea cald ca să porți o cămașă cu mânecă lungă. Frunze căzătoare. Falling leaves. Next is frunze căzătoare. Falling leaves. Frunzele căzătoare protejează rădăcinile plantelor mele. The falling leaves are protecting the roots of my plants. Frunzele căzătoare protejează rădăcinile plantelor mele. We have an expression in Romanian when there are a lot of falling leaves on the ground and we say it looks like a carpet, like a Persian carpet. So we use this expression to talk about the beauty of an autumn scenery. Frunză, leaf. For our last word, we have frunză, one leaf, frunză. Câinele se joacă cu un morman de frunze moarte. The dog plays with a pile of dead leaves. Câinele se joacă cu un morman de frunze moarte. So one leaf, it's frunză, o frunză, and the plural form frunze. Frunză, frunze. There it is.
Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the dialogue study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye! When learning a new language, we sometimes have a hard time with things like procrastination, discouragement, or failure. But don't panic. With a good strategy, you'll be able to overcome these difficulties. Are you ready to discover the 4 habits of successful learners? Number 1, optimize your time. When learning a language, it's important to dedicate time to your studies regularly, even if sometimes it's difficult. You're busy with school, work, family, or friends, but you can spread out your learning throughout the day. Study whenever you have small gaps of time in your busy schedule. This can be when you're on the metro, on your lunch break, or while you're exercising. Our podcast learning format fits perfectly into your tight schedule. Number 2, consistency with your chosen method. There are a lot of options when it comes to courses and learning materials. Switching from one method to another can confuse you and disrupt your progress. Focusing on one learning method will make a difference. Our method has been created and optimized by real teachers, so you can stick to it with confidence. Number 3, use your language background. Many languages share some commonalities. You can find words that look or sound similar, or even share the same grammar structure. A little bit of language background will give you an edge while learning. Number 4, study continuously. People are excited when they start learning a new language. The enthusiasm usually lasts until the first roadblock. This can lead to discouragement and procrastination. But don't burn yourself out. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't try to learn it all at once. Break things down into more digestible chunks. Learning step by step might feel slow, but it's an efficient way to learn a language. With patience, motivation, and good resources, you'll master the language. Remember, you can't learn a language overnight, but with motivation and these daily lessons, you'll be on the road to fluency. Give it a try now. Sign up for your account. Just click the link in the description.
Accountant.
Contabil. Contabil.
Actor. 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 Advertisement.
Publicitate. Publicitate.
Accountant.
Contabil. Contabil.
Adjective. Adjective. Adjective.
Afternoon. După amiază. După amiază.
Air conditioner.
Aer condiționat. Aer condiționat.
Airplane.
Avion. Avion.
Airport. Aeroport. Aeroport. Alcohol. 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 Ankle. Glezna. Glezna. Appetizer.
Aperitiv. Aperitiv.
Apple.
Măr. Măr.
Apricots.
Caisa. Caisa. April.
Aprilie. Aprilie.
Arm.
Braț. Braț.
Arrive.
A sosi. A sosi.
Attic.
Mansardă. Mansardă.
August.
August. August.
Autumn.
Toamnă. Toamnă.
Back door.
Ușa din spate. Ușa din spate.
Backbone. Șira spinării. Șira spinării. Door.
Curtea din spate. Curtea din spate.
Banana. 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 Bandage.
Leucoplas. Leucoplas.
Barley.
Orz. Orz.
Basement.
Subsol. Subsol.
Bathe.
A face baie. A face baie.
Bathroom.
Baie. Baie.
Be late.
A întârzia. A întârzia. Beard. Barbă. Barbă. Beautiful.
Frumoasă. Frumoasă.
Bed.
Pat. Pat.
Bedroom.
Dormitor. Dormitor.
Beef. Carne de vită. Carne de vită. Beer.
Bere. Bere.
To believe.
A crede. A crede.
Beverage.
Băuturi. Băuturi.
Bicycle. Bicicletă. Bicicletă. Bird.
Pasăre. Pasăre.
Birthday.
Zi de naștere. Zi de naștere.
Bitter. Amar. Amar. Black. Negru. Negru. Black tea. Ceai negru. Ceai negru. Blackboard.
Tablă. Tablă.
Blog.
Blog. Blog. Blouse.
Bluză. Bluză.
Blue. Albastru. Albastru. Boat.
Barcă. Barcă.
Boiling water.
Apă fiartă. Apă fiartă.
Bone.
Os. Os. Book.
Carte. Carte.
Boutique. Boutique. Boutique.
Confirm.
A confirma. A confirma. Construction worker.
Constructor. Constructor.
Cook.
Bucătar. Bucătar.
Copier.
Copiator. Copiator.
Cost.
Preț. Preț.
Coworker.
Coleg. Coleg.
Credit.
Credit. Credit.
Customer.
Client. Client.
Database.
Bază de date. Bază de date.
Debt.
creanță, creanță,
Decision.
decizie, decizie,
Decrease.
A scădea. A scădea. Degree.
licență, licență,
Dentist.
dentist, dentist,
Department.
Departament. Departament.
Department.
Departament. Departament.
Desk.
Birou. Birou.
Dictionary.
Dicționar. Dicționar.
Director.
Director. Director.
To discount. A reduce. A reduce.
Dissertation.
Teză. Teză.
Distribution.
Distribuire. Distribuire.
Doctor.
Doctoriță. Doctoriță.
Doctorate.
Doctorat. Doctorat.
Document.
Document. Document.
Dormitory.
Dormitor. Dormitor.
Driver.
Șofer. Șofer.
Economics.
Științe economice. Științe economice.
Education.
Educație. Educație.
Elementary school.
Școală primară. Școală primară.
Employee.
Angajat. Angajat.
Employer.
angajator, angajator,
Employment.
angajare, angajare,
Engineer.
Inginer. Inginer.
Enterprise.
Întreprindere. Întreprindere. Eraser.
Radieră. Radieră.
Essay.
Eseu. Eseu.
Exam.
examen, examen,
Executive.
Director. Director.
Experience.
experiență, experiență,
Experiment.
Experiment. Experiment.
Facility. Centru. Centru. Factory. Fabrică. Fabrică. Factory worker.
Muncitoare în fabrică. Muncitoare în fabrică.
Fair.
Târg. Târg. Farmer.
Fermier. Fermier.
Field. Câmp. Câmp.
Final.
Teste finale. Teste finale.
Firefighter.
Pompier. Pompier.
Flight attendant.
Stewardessă. Stewardessă.
Folder.
Dosar. Dosar.
Geography.
Geografie. Geografie.
Glue. Lipici. Lipici. Goal.
Obiectiv. Obiectiv.
Goods.
Bunuri. Bunuri.
Grade.
Notă. Notă.
Gym.
Sală de sport. Sală de sport.
Headquarters.
Sediu. Sediu.
High school.
Liceu. Liceu.
Hello, my name is Larisa, and today we are going to learn the top 25 most useful phrases in Romanian. Are you ready? Here we go. Bună! Hello. Bună! 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 Bună dimineața! Good morning. Bună dimineața! Bună dimineața! We usually say bună dimineața in a very formal way, So I would say bună dimineața to my parents when I wake up, or when I get to school to my professors. It's quite formal. But if I would say it to my cousins or brothers or sisters or friends, I can be friendly and say Neața, bună ziua, good afternoon. The next one is good afternoon. Good afternoon. Bună ziua. Bună ziua. So if I see my professor, bună ziua. Bună ziua. First we did hello as in bună. So we use bună and then we add the time of the day. Bună ziua. Bună seara. Good evening. Good evening, we say bună seara. Good evening. Bună seara. We learned how to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Good morning, bună dimineața. Good afternoon, bună ziua. And good evening, bună seara. Cum vă numiți? What's your name? When we meet someone and they don't introduce themselves, we might want to ask them their name. So if they're about the same age and you want to say it casual, you say cum te cheamă? Cum te cheamă? Or cum te numești? Cum te numești? For example, if I see a little girl and I want to ask her name, cum te cheamă? Or cum te numești? However, if I address an older person, I would say cum vă numiți? Cum vă numiți? Or cum vă cheamă? Cum vă cheamă? The polite way in Romanian to address someone is usually to put it in the plural form. Even if it's only one person, we address that person as if there are more people. It's funny because in English you have you for one person or for many people, but in Romanian you can address to one person as if you're addressing more people. And that is polite. Mă numesc Eva. My name is Eva. Let's say we asked a little girl, cum te cheamă? What's your name? And she might reply something like, sunt Eva. Sunt Eva. Or mă numesc Eva. Mă numesc Eva. Most of the times in Romania, we like to say I. So in Romanian, I is eu. Eu. That's why eu mă numesc Larisa. Eu mă numesc Larisa. Or numele meu, my name. Numele meu este Larisa. Încântat de cunoștință. And încântată de cunoștință. Nice to meet you. We have learned each other's names and I feel nice to meet you. I feel that I'm happy to meet you. So I would say încântată de cunoștință. Încântată de cunoștință. I'm a girl and I would put a at the end of the word. Încântată. Încântată de cunoștință. If I were a guy, I would say încântat. So I would end it with a T. Încântat. Ce mai faci? How are you? Usually when we meet someone in Romania, we say, hi, how are you? Bună, ce faci? Hi, how are you? Bună, ce faci? Without bună, just ce mai faci? It's more like, how have you been? Ce mai faci? How have you been? How are things going with you? How has it been going with you? Bună, ce mai faci? Or bună, ce faci? And the conversation would be very fast. Exchanging salutes would be bună, ce faci? Bine, tu? Bine, mulțumesc. Hi, how are you? Fine, thank you. And you? Great, thanks. Sunt bine, mulțumesc. Și tu? I'm fine, thanks. And you? If a professor would ask you, hi, how are you? They would say, bună ziua, ce mai faci? And I would say, mulțumesc, bine. Dumneavoastră? So I'm good, thank you. And you? I use dumneavoastră because it's the polite way to say you in Romanian. If I say you for one person, I would say tu. If I say you for and address it formally, I would say dumneavoastră. It's a bit long, but it's a useful word. I just want to mention one thing about mulțumesc. Just like in the you, for you is tu and dumneavoastră. So short word tu and longer word dumneavoastră, informal, formal. Mulțumesc is the Romanian, 100% Romanian word for thank you. But if we say thank you between friends, we might just say merci, which sounds like French. So it might be easier to remember for some people who study other European languages. But again, the most polite way to say is mulțumesc. Mulțumesc. And if you're between friends, merci. Merci. Vă rog. Please. So one example for very useful when we use please, like, could you please help me? Could you please help me? So I address someone that I don't know and I want to be polite. Like, could you please help me? Mă puteți ajuta, vă rog? Mă puteți ajuta, vă rog? When we want to say after you, we can just say please, as in please go ahead, or after you, we would say vă rog. Vă rog. After you, vă rog. Or if I order something at the restaurant, a salad, o salată, vă rog. A salad, please. As in, I would like a salad. Just the short version, a salad, please. O salată, vă rog. Vă rog. Cu plăcere. You're welcome. So when someone says mulțumesc and say you're welcome, cu plăcere. Cu plăcere. This is one of my favorite words because I like how pleasure sounds like in English as well and in Romanian, plăcere. Romanians, so we believe that the Romanian language is a very sweet language, and plăcere is one of the sweetest words that I know. Da. Yes. Da. Da. Da sounds like Russian because it's the same. Da. 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 Have to be very confident. Da. Nu. No. For no, we say nu. Nu. I did my hand like this, but so for gestures, when we say da, we nod, and for nu, we do like this. So, do you like the Romanian language? Da. Is it difficult? No. Something like that. Bine. Okay. Next one is okay. Okay. Bine. Bine. So for example, I said earlier, hey, how are you? I'm fine. Bună, ce faci? Bine. I'm okay. Bine. Mă scuzați. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Mă scuzați. Mă scuzați. It's a very polite way to say. If you address a friend of yours, mă scuzi. Mă scuzi. If you address it formally, mă scuzați. Mă scuzați. So if I'm on the bus and by mistake I happen to step on someone's foot or something, mă scuzați. Mă scuzați. Excuse me. Îmi pare rău. I'm sorry. So, excuse me is mă scuzați. And I'm sorry, îmi pare rău. Îmi pare rău. 3 words. Îmi pare rău. Cât este ceasul? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? Cât este ceasul? Or cât e ceasul? So if someone asks me, cât este ceasul? Cât este ceasul? Or cât e ceasul? Este 11 și un sfert. Mulțumesc! It's 11:15. Thank you! Mulțumesc! You're welcome! Cu plăcere! Unde este toaleta? Where is the bathroom? I want to know where the bathroom is, so where's the bathroom? Unde este toaleta? Unde? Unde means where. Unde este toaleta? Unde este toaleta? Where is the bathroom? Așteptați un moment. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Așteptați un moment. Așteptați un moment. If I address it formally, așteptați. If I say it to one person informally, așteaptă un moment. Așteaptă. Așteaptă, așteptați. Singular, plural. Cât costă aceasta? How much is this? How much is this? Cât costă aceasta? Or cât costă acesta? The simple way to say how much, cât costă. If it's a female word, aceasta. If it's a masculine word, acesta. Female, aceasta. Masculine, acesta. Aceasta, acesta. How much? Cât costă? Cât costă? Aceasta? Da. Pot să primesc nota de plată, vă rog? Could I get the check, please? The next one is a bit long. Could I get the check, please? Pot să primesc nota de plată, vă rog? Pot să primesc nota de plată, vă rog? The most important word is the check, nota de plată. If you want to say check, please, nota, vă rog. I would do something like nota, vă rog. Mulțumesc. Something like that. Ajutor. Help. Help! Ajutor! Ajutor! Ne vedem mai târziu. See you later. Next one is see you later. See you later. Ne vedem mai târziu. Ne vedem mai târziu. See you later. La revedere. Goodbye. Goodbye. La revedere. La revedere. Can you do the R? Revedere. La revedere. La revedere. We also say pa between friends. Pa. Papa. Or when we address children. Pa. Pa. But la revedere is very common. Nu știu. I don't know. I don't know. Nu știu. Do you know? I don't know. Nu știu. So we've reached the end of our first lesson. How did you like it? V-a plăcut? How did you like it? I hope you liked it. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe. Leave us comments if you have any questions. I'm really curious what was your favorite word. And I hope to see you next time on RomanianPod101.com. La revedere! Pa, pa! La revedere! O zi bună!
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.